Those of you who visited the Scan showroom over the last few years will have seen our Thermaltake WALL PC build. Well, now it's had quite an impressive update. Joining me now in the studio to talk through this fantastic piece of art is the chap who built it. It's Adam from Thermaltake. Thank you very much for coming in.
No problem at all.
It's quite a beauty, isn't it? Talk us through some of the amazing components, because this is like fantastic spec, isn't it, this PC? Talk us through what we've got.
It's all the latest hardware. We start off with our CPU that's under the water block there. That's the Intel 12900K. We've got the MSI Tomahawk DDR5 motherboard. Also, we've got the MSI RTX 3080s, two on there. And Seagate have done the two FC 530 M2s, 2 terabytes in each one, and the FC 120s, 2 terabyte SSDs. As well on there, we've got all the Thermaltake goodies on there, which we have the new Thermaltake TF1 1550 power supply. As well, our newest Thermaltake CPU water block, which is the MX2. It's got an LCD display on there which can display temperature, flow rate of what your CPU is running at. As well, to keep this cool, we're using the Thermaltake Toughfan 12s. We've got the grey and black editions on here. We also do them in a white, racing green and turquoise colour. And they're helping keep the system cool. They're a static pressure fan and they're running about 1100 RPM at the moment, which is quite quiet. And just keeping everything cool. We're using the Thermaltake hard rigid tubing, the clear coolant, and the Thermaltake Tough RAM in white as well.
Excellent, thank you for talking us through. I told you it was quite a build. Now, the big question is, I mean, you really did think outside the box with this, literally. We've had it in the Scan showroom for about 5 years now, haven't we?
About 5 years, yeah.
For those that are familiar with it, this is a very different look and build to what went before, wasn't it? Talk us through how we've arrived at this then.
Well, it originated in Taiwan. Back when the GTX 970s came out. That was his first ever build. We then brought it back over to the UK and did an upgrade on it. It was full RGB to the wall, singing, dancing, lights glowing everywhere. So we noticed a trend that people like RGB or don't like RGB. So we did a few social media outputs and said, okay, what would you like to see, this RGB again? Or would you like to go like a monochrome, a black, grey and a white? And it was very close, and people said, let's go without the RGB this time. Let's show the hardware off instead of looking through a bright RGB light. Yeah. Let's let the hardware do the talking.
Well, which it certainly does indeed. I love that you brought in as well people's opinion. I think that's a really nice touch as well. And I know you were saying earlier that you're perhaps not an RGB fan, and we do find it does divide people. This is a really nice clean build, as you say, though. And what I love about it is it's a fully functioning PC. This is not just art, is it? It's just a different way of thinking about building your PC,
packs
isn't it?
and power, it's nice and cool. Does everything you normal a gaming PC does.
And you've put together some kits as well, haven't you? So people can do their own.
We have, yeah. Even though this is like an art piece for people to look at to show our products and the partners' products off, we actually do a all-in-one kit, a 240 version and a 360 version, which you get the tough fans, the pump reservoir, fittings, adapters, the hard tubing, and the clear coolant all in one box. So you can use any case, preferably a Thermaltake case, to do your custom loop in, to start you into the water cooling world. Everything in there is what you need. So this using one of the best fans, in my opinion, for cooling.
Well, tell us more about the Thermaltake fans then.
Well, they are a high static pressure fan at a speed of from 500 to 2000 RPM. Around 1500 RPM, they create about 59 CFM of static air pressure going through, and the noise level is only about 21 dBA, which is nice and quiet at 1500. As I said, I've got these running about 1100 at the moment, which are not very loud. And we've now arranged the different colours, the white, turquoise green and the racing green. And it's a great fan. We've had great response from them and they do well.
Excellent. With so many changes with components and new release and everything, how do you decide when it's time then to change the wall art?
Well, sometimes we get a partner say we're bringing a new motherboard out, or we're bringing new VGA, or ourselves we're bringing a new pump or power supply. We change it over then, and then we do them through the focus through our social medias to highlight the product.
Excellent. Obviously, this has been built by Thermaltake,
Yep.
you specifically, but with a lot of help from partners, as you mentioned. So talk to us then, who's been supportive in this build?
With the CPU, Intel stepped on in with that, with their latest i9 12900K. MSI have jumped on board this time with the motherboard Tomahawk Z690 and the two RTX 3080s. And Seagate have jumped in as well with the two M2s and the two SSD drives. So we've kept the partners quite tight this time instead of reaching out to more and more partners, but it's a good team and we put it all together well.
So we know that you built this. This is your baby, isn't it? Very much. Talk us through the process then. How long did it take? It
took about 2 months altogether.
Oh, wow.
Getting the hardware off the partners, lining them up on the panels, making the mounting holes, mounting supports for it all. We had a few changes to do because hardware changes in size, weight, so we had to make sure we can support things. So new holes in certain places, sanding, painting, more sanding, more painting, and until it was right.
How complex was it then? Did you come across any sort of difficulties or things that you hadn't perhaps expected?
Our radiators are bigger now, so thicker and heavier, so we're having to increase the holes and screw size so they can take the weight. The VGAs are longer and heavier now, so we have to make sure we get the correct support brackets underneath. Same with motherboards, motherboard mounting system and that, so all good. No problem at all.
And I know this was your idea and you obviously take a lot of passion and pride in this. Did you have any help though? Did anybody help you?
No, only the hardware, only the partners with the hardware. Apart from that, nobody else touched it.
Not a chance. No. It's Adam's project. Okay, well this is in the showroom as we say, so I'll tell everybody about that in a moment. But when can we expect the next change then? What do you think we're going to go for? We're going to go back to RGB or flashy, or are you just in the moment, or you're already planning ahead?
In the moment this, but we're already planning ahead to put the cards onto water. So just a simple modification then into the water blocks, not much of a change on there, and we may change motherboard. We're definitely changing our memory to our new XG memory, DDR5 when that launches, so keep an up down soon. It won't be long before it's here.
Excellent. And you said as well that you do like to get input from consumers. So how do people get involved? If someone's itching to say, I just want to see this in it next time, how can they get involved in that?
Keep an eye on our social media pages and on Scan website as well. We do updates on there, short videos and social media posts. We always do updates on the build if we're changing it or we're highlighting something on it.
Excellent. Nice work. You've done a smashing job there. Thank you very much for coming in and telling us all about it and showing off all the fabulous components. And if you do want to see it in all its glory, as I say, it's on display in the Scan show, and they've made it really easy as well. There's a QR code that you can scan there and find out more about all of the components. And Adam actually brought along some goodies along with the partners Seagate, MSI and Intel. You can find out details of that competition over on our YouTube. Take a look out for the video for details on how to enter.